Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. So today, let's talk about dirty records. When is it okay to buy them? I know for me and my collection, I pride on having records in really good condition, very clean album covers, very clean vinyl especially. But every once in a while, there is a record that comes along and it's either that rare or the price is too good and you pick it up. At least I do. Maybe you don't, but I do. And the covers are not so great, or maybe the vinyl is a little iffy. Either way, I'm talking dirty records on a couple of these records and some clean stuff that I got over this past weekend. I got to have a dream come true this past weekend. By the time you see this, a little time will have gone by. I got to see Tommy James and the Shondells in concert. They were in Effingham, Illinois. I don't know what Illinois has against ham. That's my husband's joke, so you could take that how you want to. But anyway, I got to see Tommy James and the Shondells, and it was such a treat. What can I say about Tommy James and the Shondells? The music healed my heart when I was a child and my parents were going through a divorce. I could put that music on and feel so good and so happy. And Tommy James, was important to my mom, but became important to me because she let us play her records. And for an hour and 15 minutes, that's how long the concert was, he entertained us. He played all of his hit stuff. We get Sweet Cherry Wine, Crystal Blue Persuasion, Crimson and Clover, like this t-shirt shows, Mony Mony, Hanky Panky, Dragging the Line. He played it all. And he even came out into the crowd and shook a lot of people's hands. I didn't get to shake his hand. I didn't get a picture with him. But it was a good concert for me. My husband, I appreciate him so much because he went along for the ride. And for the price of an adult beverage, he'll come in and he'll enjoy the show too. So it was really wonderful. And if I can leave at least pictures or maybe even a song at the end of this video by him, I will. He still sounds very good. In my opinion, his voice was still very strong. He's 75 years old, but he still put on a good show. It was very short, and I will say my husband and I were the babies of the crowd, but it was a great time and I really loved it. And while we were in Illinois, we did a little record shopping. I went to Carbondale, Illinois. We went to a place called Plaza Records. That's where I found Junky Record #1, or Trashy Record. And it's only because of the album cover. As you can see, it doesn't look so hot. This is Traffic. The big hit on here is Feeling All Right. It is a United Artists version. And it does still have, when you open it up, still has the pictures. You can kind of flip through it. So I appreciate that at least that was still intact. That's very nice. I imagine a lot of these have been lost along the way. And whether I have a complete one, I don't know. I haven't checked. But I think it's really cool. And of course, this is a great band with wonderful players. We get Dave Mason and Steve Winwood and Jim Capaldi, Chris Wood. Traffic. Why would I buy one that has such a really rough cover? For one, you rarely see these very, very clean. But what was so cool about it was the vinyl itself was just near mint. There isn't a spot, mark, problem. It is beautifully perfect and plays like a dream. So that's why I went ahead and decided to pick up this record. It was dirt cheap. It's a great record. My husband even agrees that Traffic was a wonderful band. Like I said, the album cover is not so good, but the vinyl was so beautiful that I couldn't resist picking it up. Here is another one. This one is in terrible shape. Well, not terrible. It's in, I'd say it's a VG minus shape, okay, if I was grading. Kryptonite. This is Neil Merryweather. A very cool space rock record. I think it came out in 1975. Killer record. I've always wanted this one. This is what I've been seeing other people show here in the vinyl community. I gave it a listen and I've always wanted it. I love the guitar playing. Now, I was able to find this one, and it does have like a little split, so it had been a one that had been on sale or in the cutout. You know, it's been cut out, so it was sold at a discount at some point. But wow, this is really great. It does have an inner sleeve, but it's missing some things in it. Here's the inner sleeve that came with it. I think there should be something with like a lyric sheet with pictures, but I don't have that in here. Again, the cover is not so great. The record is so-so. It's not bad. When you first put it on, it has pops and clicks, but once the music takes off, you don't hear any of that because the guitar playing is so amazing. And that's what really shines on here. If I was mastering this particular record, I would probably bring down the vocals, put them back a little bit, bring the guitars a little more forward, although the guitars are great and they do sound very good on here. This is a clean copy. It's not mint like the Traffic album, but it was really good. And this is hard to find. Getting an original of this, it's kind of tough. You know, you probably buy it on Discogs. You never know what you're going to get when you order from Discogs. I'd never seen this one out in the wild before, so I decided it was $30. That's not cheap, but for this record, it's not expensive, and so I went ahead and bought it, and I absolutely love it. Now, side 2 starts off with a really slow song. Let's look and see what that's called. I don't have my glasses on, so I have a hard time reading sometimes. The Groove, I believe that's a little more slow-paced. And at the beginning of that, I do hear a little bit of a crack and pop, but it goes away. The more I listen to it, the more the guitars get in, you don't hear it at all. So I'm happy with that purchase. So let me know what you think. Do you all sometimes compromise your principles a little bit in order to get something into your collection? Maybe because of price, maybe because it's rare. There's a lot of people who watch my channel who dig through records and they spend $3 to $5. I paid $30 for that. But a lot of you find some really killer stuff, and I would imagine to do that, you compromise the covers. A lot of people say you don't play the cover, you play the record. In a perfect world, I like to have clean record, clean album cover, but for these, I made an exception, and I want to know what you think about them. This is another one that I found at Plaza Records that I thought was really cool. This is a UK version of Revolver. It's got that flimsy cover. The cover is in really good shape when you consider how flimsy it is and how old it is. It is now 50 years old. According to what they were selling me, it said it was a 1973 UK version of Revolver, an absolute classic. And I already have a first press of Abbey Road, a first press of Sgt. Pepper. I thought, you know, this is a third, about a third pressing. I thought, you know, that would probably be very good. It gets very good reviews. I'm curious as to whether this is truly a 73 version or 76. It has HTM in the dead wax etched in, so I don't know. You Beatles experts can probably fill me in on that. It sounds really good. I haven't done a shootout. I wasn't as blown away with this one as I was the first pressings of Abbey Road and Sgt. Pepper, but I thought it sounded really good. It really sounded great on Tomorrow Never Knows. Got to Get You Into My Life. It was really great. There are some songs on here where I felt like the drums might have been a little buried, and I was a little disappointed in that. Good Day Sunshine sounds good on here. Taxman. Eleanor Rigby's beautiful, and Here, There, and Everywhere are beautiful. you know, there's just, I'm trying to think, what song was it that had the drums buried? It might have been Good Day Sunshine. But anyway, it's really good. I want to do a shoot out to see which one is the best copy. And this is on that silver Parlophone label. Let me take it out so you can get a better look. The vinyl itself is minty, minty, mint. So I got a killer price on a minty UK Revolver. And that's why I pulled the trigger on it. The condition of the vinyl, the fact that it was from the UK. Now let's go ahead and start talking about the South. This is a great record. The next two I'm going to be showing are from Riverbend Records. Billy Hurst started out just making vinyl videos and being a vinyl collector. He was my favorite channel, The GOAT, and I loved his vinyl channel. And he has stepped back from making vinyl videos. He's now become a record store owner, Riverbend Records, and it's doing very well. It seems like it's very popular. He has auctions a lot of the time on Monday nights, and I do catch him, and I will buy some records. And this is one that I bought from him, Lynyrd Skynyrd's Gold and Platinum. I love, love, love this. What's great about it, it's a lot of the hits, the big, big hits. And then what's really special is the version of Freebird that's on this record. So we're getting cool stuff like Saturday Night Special, Give Me 3 Steps, What's Your Name, Give Me Back My Bullets, Sweet Home Alabama, and a very beautiful version of Freebird, very different from the studio version and yet sounds so good. Ronnie Van Zant's, they just put those vocals up front and, you know, it's just different enough to give it a fresh feel. You feel like Ronnie Van Zant's in the room with you. The piano's very beautiful. It's such a good song anyway, and to have another beautiful version of it is terrific. Tuesday's Gone is great. Simple Man, one of my favorites. So I love having this one. Another really great record, you guys. So, and anytime I see this label, I don't get very excited because the sound quality usually isn't so great on these MCA rainbow labels. That's just been my experience, but I think this sounds really, really good. Sweet Home Alabama doesn't sound as good as it does on the Analog Productions version. I'll give you that. Some of these songs don't. Simple Man, no. They're better on Analog Productions. But they sound really good on here. I was not disappointed, and Freebird sold it for me. This version of Freebird on this record is absolutely wonderful. And I also bought from Riverbend Records, and I got this for a really good price, and I got this next one for a really good price too, from Riverbend Records Monday nights auctions. They start at 6 o'clock Central Time, so you can kind of adjust that to wherever you live. I also bought this, Bruce Springsteen's Tunnel of Love. It still had the hype sticker. It's still in shrink wrap. The vinyl was perfect. And I do have memories of when this came out. It was right after Born in the USA. And then this record came out a couple years later. And I was a teenager. And I remember thinking, I was expecting Born in the USA Part 2. This was not that. We were all like, we didn't like this that well. Brilliant Disguise. We didn't get that as a teenager. Or what was this other one? It's called Two Steps Back, I believe. No, One Step Up, Two Steps Back was the song, One Step Up. I've always been a fan of the song Tunnel of Love, though, even back when I was a teenager. And of course, I play it today and I hear this 80s production, but the lyrics are still really good. I love the build and the drive of that song. Something about it just really hits me, and I just think Tunnel of Love is spectacular. And this is such a solid record. You know, I was a teenager. I wanted Born in the USA Part 2, but of course, Bruce Springsteen knew better, and he knew the right direction to take. And as an adult, I appreciate that he stepped away from that and did something totally different. It was really a smart move on his part. And I love this record. So, and it sounds great. I really don't worry about the Columbia record releases. They usually do sound absolutely wonderful. So now, I'm going to show you a couple of totally different records that I ordered. These are called Verve by Request, manufactured by Third Man Pressings in Detroit, Michigan. 180 gram quality vinyl. and I got the sorcerer Gabor Zabo, and I apologize if I'm not pronouncing his name correctly because I absolutely adore him. He's a great guitar player, and I had to have this one because I love the other records I have by him. And of course, it's really cool that the opening track is The Beat Goes On, the Sonny and Cher smash, and I love hearing it here with his guitar. The sound quality is really good. I don't have an original to compare it to, but sometimes when I buy those original Verves, I'm disappointed. Sometimes those Verve records, the sound quality or the vinyl quality itself isn't so great. So I am happy to have this reissue. And I love it. Love Gabor Szabo. If you're not familiar with his music, you should be. It's great. So here is the bad part though. Paper sleeves. Are we still doing paper sleeves? We all know polylined is much better. I cannot believe we still get paper sleeves these days. So, but still, it's a great one. And I will clean it up. And I did play it before I cleaned it, I'll admit it. But I didn't get a lot of pops and clicks. It sounded really good. I will give it a cleaning. I will put it in a different sleeve. Paper sleeves are not something my records stay in for very long. And also, I bought this one, The Awakening, the Ahmad Jamal Trio. You know, this is a very rare record to find an original of, and I know a few of you have it, and a few of you say it's better. But this, again, is by the Verve, by request, Third Man Pressings in Detroit. It sounds good enough for me. I've never seen this record out in the wild, and I'm not saying I wouldn't buy it if I saw it for the right price. But a lot of you say it's very expensive to find an original. I love Ahmad Jamal. And this is a great release. So good. And to me, it sounds really good. Again, yucky paper sleeve, but I love the Impulse label. 180 gram vinyl, and sounds quiet enough to me. Again, I need to give this one a cleaning, but I didn't notice any major clicks or pops. So very happy with what I have bought so far from that Verve by Request series. You can buy these in record stores. You can look online. They're very common. Look up Verve by Request. And finally, I want to talk about a record that was sent to me a while back. And sometimes when these independent records get sent to me, it takes me a while to give them a listen and to fit them into one of my videos. And this is the time for this one. The Gentle Cycle by Landslide Eyes. The band is The Gentle Cycle. Killer record. They said that they sent me the last copy on purple vinyl. It is wonderful. It is fuzz rock. It's a little bit of progressive because the long songs, a little bit of a psychedelic feel to them. Absolutely wonderful. They were recorded around the time of COVID. Did a great job. I really love this, and I will leave a link below so that you could check out this record. The melodies stick in your head with this one, which I love. Sound quality is fantastic. Absolutely wonderful record. I'm glad that I get to show it on my channel. I'm so pleased that there are people who watch my videos who put out great music like this and send it my way. If you get a chance, check out this record, The Gentle Cycle, Landslide Eyes. You will not regret it. It is, I mean, you'll feel like you're back in the late 60s, early 70s with the feel it has. The melodies will stick in your head. It's really good. So those are the records I want to show, and killer stuff. Let me know what you think about the dirty records that I bought. Let me know if you know anything about that Beatles record, or if you've been buying those Verve by Request records. Lynyrd Skynyrd. So much great stuff. There's so much great music out there, and I've been enjoying it so much. And also, again, I am so happy now to have seen a legend. I love Tommy James, and he was so kind, so great. His band was fantastic. I'm hoping I can leave at least a picture, maybe a little bit of a song for you here so you can enjoy it too. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, hit the like button, the subscribe button. Everything you do helps my channel. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.